Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's William Bellamy again. I'm back to talk to you on Election Day +3, so that's November 6th. This will get posted tomorrow, but in keeping with tradition because it's a new channel, if you like what I have to say, please go ahead and like, subscribe, and share with your friends. If you disagree with what I'm saying, then hit dislike and tell me why in the comments. We can have a civil discussion and maybe you change my mind, but there's a chance that I'll change yours. So as we're going into this, there's been some interesting things that have come up. You've got Georgia already talking about initiating a recount because it's so close. You have questionable videos coming out. You have signed statements from people that witnessed what they consider voter fraud. And I will say alleged and what they consider because none of this has been proven yet. You also had a computer glitch in Michigan. Now, this computer glitch led to 6,000 votes that were actually cast for Republicans being counted as Democrat. And it actually did change the results of the election. Now, to their credit, and I really want to emphasize this point, the county officials noticed it, they admitted it, they corrected it, and they've moved forward. Now, the issue with that is the same software that had the glitch was in use in 47 other counties in Michigan. So what does that do to the results of the election? I don't know. A hand recount's the only thing that can solve that. Now, with that being said, that same software, if you go to their website, because I put the link in the description of this video, that same software is used in 28 other states, to include Nevada, Pennsylvania, Arizona, and Georgia. And these states are all in contention right now. So this was not intentional. It was a computer glitch. The county that noticed it, like I said, they noticed it, they admitted it, they corrected it. So they deserve a lot of credit for that instead of trying to hide behind something. Admitting fault is always a hard thing to do, but they did it. Now, the Georgia Secretary of State, because the vote is so close, and oh, by the way, as I mentioned, they're one of the states that uses the same software, has already moved to begin thinking about a recount. Our country deserves transparency when it comes to elections. So there may be issues that do need to be looked at when it comes to using this computer software. It's already proved to have had a glitch. Now, will it change the outcome of the election? I don't know. I know in the county it was discovered in, it did change the results. So what does that mean for the rest of the election? I don't know. I know lawfare started. There's filings. There's questions about observers being allowed into polling places, observers being allowed into the areas where they're counting votes. There's a forklift being placed between the observers and the people counting votes. There's also a cardboard being placed up in the windows where people are counting votes. Everything being said right now is an allegation. Other than the computer glitch, nothing has been proven. And anybody can throw allegations out there. And in our country, with equal access to the courts, the initial filings of anything can be put through, but to prove fraud, you have to have true evidence. Anybody that runs for office has a right to request a recall. Now, it varies from state to state about what you have to prove for that recall to go through. And there's also the problem of expense. So as I stated in my earlier video, and I'm sticking with this, in a case such as this with a federal election, maybe there does need to be a federal fund to support the cost of these recalls if there's legitimate terms that are met. In this case, the computer glitch. Well, it hasn't turned up anywhere else, but we know it did happen. And because it did happen, it could have put the wrong person in office, the ones that our citizens did not vote for. So with that being said, maybe they do need to go back and maybe not do a hand recount for the entire state. Maybe they do some quality control checks along the way to ensure there weren't any additional issues. As far as the other allegations that are being made, you have people signing statements, signing affidavits, which are legal documents, of what they witnessed. Now, does that prove there was voter fraud? No, it doesn't prove that. What it proves is Somebody says they saw something, but it is a legal document. And should these be investigated? Yes, to the fullest extent they can. Now, going forward from here, I don't know where it's going to go. I know where it's looking right now, that Joe Biden will be the president-elect. And in the end, if that's what the American people voted for, then so be it. That's what our Constitution lays out of how we do this. Now, could hand recounts possibly change that? It could. Do I think there's a great chance of that? No, I don't. But for the sake of transparency, Donald Trump and Joe Biden should be for this process. They should want to know for sure when they take a podium to swear their oath as President of the United States that everything was done to provide transparency to the American people, because that's what the American people deserve. If you want to truly be a leader, then lead. Lead your party. Then if we go through these processes, so be it. If the courts and evidence, if the courts decide the evidence shows there need to be recounts, then so be it. Don't get mad about it. Applaud it. Applaud the effort at transparency in this election cycle. It has been ugly. There's been disunity in our country. It's been very divisive. Maybe this is the way to bring it back together. Is to agree, yes, the American people deserve transparency. I support transparency. This is what we're going to do moving forward. I am in complete agreement with the president that we need to accept these areas need to have recounts, or these areas need to have quality control checks to ensure I was not elected by computer glitches. That transparency shows that you have nothing to hide. It also shows the entire country that unity can be found. That even in differences of belief, you can come together over an ideal, which is our Constitution. If they are not willing to do that, then I really have to wonder about both of them. It's not about being a sore loser. It's about there are legitimate questions and legitimate allegations out there. And those have to be investigated. We have to determine that this system works. And the reason we do this is 2 years from now, we will be voting again in midterm elections. And 4 years from now, we'll be voting again in a presidential election. So if we go through the investigations now and we narrow down where the problems lie, it makes it easier 2 years from now and 4 years from now to ensure election integrity. This was not caused by foreign actors. This is not the Russians or the Chinese or the North Koreans hacking into anything. This is not Soviet or Russian bot farms spreading disinformation. As far as what we know right now is we have people alleging things happened. We have questions about residency requirements being met for voters. And we have computer glitches that affected one county, but the same software is being used in 28 states and Puerto Rico. So do I think there's a legitimate reason to go back and look at these things? Yes. We have between now and December 14th to get it figured out. Because December 14th, if the votes aren't certified, then it goes to the House of Representatives. In the House of Representatives, each state delegation will appoint one person to vote for who will be the president. I have never wanted it to come to that, because the entire population of the United States then looks at it and goes, where's the problem in our system? Why did they not determine what the problem was and attempt to fix it? Even if it wasn't perfect this time, then why can we not make it more perfect next time? Remember, when we were founded, it was an effort to form a more perfect union. Nothing is perfect. This is still a great experiment. From the day this country was founded, it's been the great experiment. And I truly am blessed to have been born here and to have grown up here and to live here now. But in this case, I as a citizen demand transparency. I don't care who wins. I want transparency in the process. I want to know that this computer glitch did not affect 27 other states as it did in this county. I want to know that the allegations being made about voter fraud were unfounded or founded, as the case may be. I want to know that the residency requirements were met so that vote is legitimate. These are things I demand as a citizen. I have the right to do that. The government is accountable to us, not the other way around. And we hold them accountable through lawsuits or through voting. Now, with record voter turnout, that's made me extremely happy this year. I would like to see that keep up. But as it stands now, everything is kind of in turmoil, and either candidate that claims something is probably not going to be fact at this point, because all the votes still have to be certified. And everything going through the courts has to be processed, and any allegations have to be investigated. So at election day +3, we're still kind of trying to figure out what's going on. But just know this, I have faith that our Constitution will prevail. We will always survive as a nation. And I have faith in the system to figure this out the right way. Now, with that being said, everybody have a good evening. This will be posted tomorrow. I'll probably have another election day +4 video tomorrow. And I will also do a video after that of, once we have a better idea who the president-elect is, or if the incumbent got reelected, my expectations based on what they said during the race and what I will hold them to. Everybody have a good evening. If you like what I have to say, like, subscribe, share with your friends. If you dislike, go ahead and hit dislike. Tell me why in the comments. We can have a civil discussion about it. I also have a Patreon because I'm starting to figure out where I want to go with this channel and what I want to do with background and editing software and things like that. So anything you do will go directly to improve the channel. So please check out my Patreon. Like, subscribe, and share. That's all I can ask you to do. Everybody have a good evening.